So here, let's talk about magnetic and non-magnetic materials. What is a magnetic material? What is a non-magnetic material? So here we have non-magnetic material. So what is a magnetic material? What is a non-magnetic material? Like the name suggests, magnetic material, those materials that can be magnetized by a magnet, or that can be attracted or repelled by another magnet. So we say magnetic materials are those substances that can be attracted or repelled by a magnet. Magnetic materials are those substances that can be affected, or sorry, that can be attracted or repelled by a magnet. So if you have, okay, for example, e.g., we have steel, we have iron, and so on. So if you have a material, a substance, that when subjected to a magnetic field, there is no observable effect on it in terms of attraction and repulsion, then you know that's a non-magnetic material. But if it has, then that's a magnetic material. So like, okay, non-magnetic materials are those materials, or are those substances, when you define a word, those substances, when you're defining a word, make sure you do not mention that word in your definition. Are those substances that cannot be attracted or repelled by a magnet. So, for example, we have wood. We have wood, glass, copper, etc. These are non-magnetic materials. When you bring a magnet close to it, nothing happens. Okay. So, let's talk about the uses of different magnetic substances. Different magnetic So the use of different magnets. Now, soft iron is used to make temporary magnet. Is used to make temporary magnet. Steel is used to make permanent magnet. Now, what is soft iron in the first place? Soft iron is basically pure iron, while steel is an alloy of both iron and carbon just to make it a bit stronger. You see, so we have to get a material that's got the kind of strength that steel has, we have to make an alloy of iron and carbon. So soft iron is used to make temporary magnets. They're basically electromagnets. Electromagnets are those magnets you need to produce magnetic field for a short period of time, you see. And then you can use that to make, that's employed in industry, maybe to sieve, okay, number one. Soft iron is used to make temporary magnets, such as electromagnet, e.g. electromagnet. Now, electromagnets are needed in, like I told you, in places where, or in cases where a temporary magnetic field is required. For example, you've been to a scrap yard before where there are scrap metals. So to separate the magnetic materials from the non-magnetic material in that huge heap of dump, a big electromagnet has to be brought down, and then as soon as it passed current through the electromagnet, the metal will become magnetized, and then it will pick up all the magnetic materials and then transport them to somewhere else, you see. So we use them to electromagnet. Are used in number one, in industry, to transport heavy metals from one place to the other. They are also used in scrapyard to separate, and this is another separation technique in chemistry, to separate magnetic substances from non-magnetic substances. So this is what it is. Okay, I think that's it for magnetic and non-magnetic substances and their uses. So here we discussed magnetic and non-magnetic materials. We said magnetic materials are those materials that can be magnetized or attracted or repelled by a magnet, e.g. steel and iron. Non-magnetic materials are those materials or substances, more appropriately, that cannot be attracted or repelled by a magnet. For example, wood, glass, copper, etc. Then uses of the different magnetic substances. Soft iron is used to make electromagnets, while steel is used to make permanent magnet. Of course, we have electromagnets. Electromagnets are used in industry to transport heavy metals from one place to the other. They are also used in scrapyards to separate magnetic substances from non-magnetic substances. Thank you.